Is this your first rant of the year?
Yes, this is the first rant of the year. So hi guys, Sarah's with me again.
Greetings.
I actually wanted to specifically for this one because I figure you're much more musically minded than pretty much anyone else that's still active with us right now. So
Even more than Grant?
I don't know if Grant does musicals.
He sings, he does theater, he was in a musical theater workshop with Company 21 up in San Jose.
He has never told me this.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, there you go, trivia for you guys. Yeah, so we just got out of Into the Woods, which is like the
Woods.
like the obligatory live-action Disney movie comes out in December, which we're like a week and a half late on seeing, but still.
We've been busy and
I'm slowly catching up. I think I'm probably just gonna go see Annie next, and that's it. Yeah, I know. End it with a bang. Another fucking musical. You gotta go see. I'll probably get Patrick on that one. That'll be fun.
Oh, he did volunteer.
He did. Although I'm worried he might have seen it already, and then wants me to go see it by myself, which I'm a little afraid to do. Cause yeah, nothing's more pathetic than a single guy going to see Annie. But I'm stalling. So.
I liked the original Annie, and I like Jamie Foxx, but I don't want to sign up for this one. I actually wanted to sign up for this one.
Yeah, Into the Woods.
So thank you for coming down to my neck of the woods. No pun intended.
Yeah, we're in ha ha ha.
I said no pun intended.
I know, I just got it. So yeah, Into the Woods. I have a feeling you and I really disagree on this one because I did not like it at all. Really didn't like it. I have specific reasons why. It has something to do with the fact that it is a musical.
Okay. Well, I'd be surprised if you hated it if it was specifically because of it being a musical, considering you've been in musicals.
Oh yeah, my point is I don't think it's the reasons you think I would hate this movie.
Okay, I'm very curious.
Mostly, I think it's what I told you before we started filming. It's like, for a movie that has such a rushed plot line, it surprisingly wastes so much fucking time on nothing.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm just curious for a specific example.
Largely in the second half, there's a whole song when there's the whole song about who's blaming who for what. It was like, who fucking cares? Get the hell on with it. Stuff like that. There's a lot of songs like that. It's like, you could have easily cut this, and it would not have made a difference. Like, I didn't see the original play. I don't know much about it.
I haven't seen the original play either. I
heard they changed a lot in the second act, but
yeah. That's
what I've heard. But
yes, they do change a lot in the second act. I had an ex-boyfriend who had the Broadway soundtrack, and that was my introduction to it.
Okay.
So, of course, it's Disney. They always change their source material. Yeah. And there are a lot of changes, and those changes and those edits could have had something to do with the pacing choices.
Yeah, even then, it's like there's the majority of the first act all the way through the second act is just so... Like, there's a lot happening very, very quickly, and yet instead of taking the extra moments to develop characters, it spends it basically on nothing. It's kind of like just pointless songs that have nothing to do with anything. You could have easily cut them out. Again, I don't know if the original Broadway show did this or not. Like, I don't know how many the songs carried over or how many they invented for the movie. I don't know, but I just felt like this feels like filler. This feels like they could be using this time for something more. Like, I kind of kept making comparisons to, like, Les Mis, the musical I really like. Mm-hmm. In that, yeah, then we had a lot of fucking... That show has a lot of fucking characters in there, but like, some of the minor ones feel more developed than some of the main characters in this one.
Well, keep in mind, and again, I'm not disagreeing with you, but keep in mind, these are fairy tales.
I get that they're fairy tales.
The point, or the premise of Into the Woods is multiple fairy tales are being told simultaneously and interwoven into the same story. So, of course, the characters are not overtly substantial. They're all very basic. It's Little Red Riding Hood. It's Cinderella. It's Rapunzel. It's Prince Charming.
They're trying to get them. Prince Charming. I actually really liked Prince Charming. I will get to him because I actually really liked him. He is my favorite character. And just on the side note, between this and Horrible Bosses 2, Chris Pratt should really do more comedies because he's fucking great in them. But
well, there's a reason why he got his start in Parks and Rec, I guess.
Yeah, so he's actually a really fucking funny actor. So
Yes,
I kind of want
he
to see him
is.
do more. I'd rather see much more do comedies and action movies, to be honest. But that's a whole, I'll get to that part.
I really liked the song the two princes who in this story are apparently brothers had, because it just cracked me up.
Oh yeah, it was a great song. That was like, I was laughing. Like, the only time I really laughed or felt anything in this movie is when, like, the prince, like, Chris Pratt or even, like, the other prince were on screen, especially when they're on screen together. Because, A, they have really good chemistry, and they ham it up just enough. Just enough so it's really fucking funny.
Yes.
Like, Chris Pratt, God bless the man, he knows just that right comedic timing. Just the right time to do the hair swish and all that stuff. And it's really fucking funny.
It was so cheesy.
And the part where these guys just randomly rip open their shirts because they're in pain. I got a good laugh from our audience.
Yes.
Okay, I think it's warm enough.
Yes,
All right.
thank you.
But no, that was really funny. So, like, yeah, like Sarah said, this movie is basically just a series of fairy tales that's all woven into one giant narrative. The problem is even none of the plot lines feel like. The problem is I didn't really give a shit, like, at all at any point during the movie, and that's a problem.
Okay.
And that's kind of what I mean by, like, you could have given me more time with these people so I can actually, you know, I don't care. Like, I know it's a story we all know, and I understand why they're rushing through it.
Yes.
Because we all know how it goes, and we all know it ends. That's fine. But at the same time, by rushing through it, I don't get a chance to actually know any of the people that's going through it. And that's what they try to bring back home at the end. But by the time the end comes around, I don't know these people enough to actually give a shit about any of them.
Maybe they're assuming that because the characters are so basic and so commonly known, that maybe they're assuming that the audience already knows who these people are.
You should never make that assumption. Like, even if a character's been done a million times, and we're getting another fucking Cinderella movie this year, so they're getting a chance of this.
Yeah, I have some mixed feelings about that, because Cinderella is my favorite fairy tale, and the 1950 animated Disney version is my favorite telling.
Yeah, it doesn't look good, but we'll get to that.
Yes.
Because we got that trailer today for this.
Yes, we did. Know your audience.
Yeah, right. No, let's get the sequel for There Will Be Blood or Mad Max, and this one, that'd be amazing.
That would
Disney
be funny.
movie, Mad Max, boom. Thunderdome 2. Fuck yeah. Have you seen that trailer? It looks fucking awesome. But,
Nice.
testosterone filled. Anyway.
Yes.
But, like, even if you're gonna redo these characters again, and especially since we've seen so much of it between, like, other Disney movies and Once Upon a Time, which is hugely popular right now. And
I'm a fan, although I keep on worrying that they're writing themselves into a corner. But
I am not a fan, but that's another rant for another day.
fair enough. Did I mention that I like fairy tales?
Yeah, I
So-
gathered.
so-
Yeah, it's like, I guess if you're looking for, like, the bare bone stuff, that's fine, but, like, I don't know, I was looking for a bit more substance out of this, because it looks like here's a tale you've heard a million times before, we're gonna give it a little twist to it, and that'll make it more interesting, but apparently more interesting to not mean make good characters, and that's kind of the problem for me with this. Like, because I like the basic, I like the actress, I like all these actors, like, none of this is the talent's fault. Like,
It's a good cast.
it's a very good cast. You have Meryl Streep, I don't know who the hell played Little Red Riding Hood, but I thought she was fun.
Yeah, she was.
I love Anna Kendrick, so it's like, you could do so much more with this than what they're doing. So it's like, every time I felt like they were kind of starting to get into it, they break out into a pointless song, and I was like, And like I said, I like musicals, but the songs need to have a point. You could have cut out that whole who blames who song out entirely. Would not have made a difference.
True.
And then the characters would just sporadically die for, like, out of fucking nowhere and for no fucking reason.
Spoiler.
Yeah, I didn't say who dies. I just said people die. Because, you know, towards the end, yeah, people are gonna fucking die. And the whole Cinderella thing also reminded me, too, of why Disney changes some of the fictional fairy tale stuff. Because the whole, the stepsisters cut off pieces of their feet to fit into the shoe.
Which is a part of the original.
Yes, it is part of the original story.
Brothers Grimm story.
Yes.
As well as the birds.
Yeah.
Blinding them. That's also a part of the original.
I can't
story.
imagine why that didn't make it into the cartoon. I'm just saying.
Well,
It's like,
the original versions of fairy tales are very dark morality tales to scare children into behaving.
I'm very well aware. My point is, I can see why they didn't include those in the original cut. Because, you know, if you got the real Little Mermaid, wouldn't be nearly as whimsical.
No, because in the Hans Christian Andersen story, she dies.
She doesn't just die, she turns into fucking salt. So
Sea foam, yeah.
yeah, well, close enough.
Yeah.
So it's like, my point, I can get why you don't want to traumatize your children. And we got quite a few children in this movie play.
And some seniors, too.
A lot of seniors, actually.
Yeah.
And I was like, we're kind of in the middle, this is weird.
Yes, I had a similar thought.
But yeah, it's like, I don't know, for me, I guess it's like the songs, a lot of the songs, not all of them, like the songs are catchy, they're fine. As far as Broadway soundtracks, I've heard better, but I've heard worse. So.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say this was completely indicative of the actual Broadway soundtrack because they did change it a bit.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, a lot of it kind of felt like, kind of generic, to be honest. Kind of like, I was like, I've kind of heard these same songs in better plays.
Fair enough.
So I don't know, but again, maybe I'm being overly picky. I don't know. Either way, there is one thing I want to talk about. This was really giving me the creeps. Is the big bad wolf a pedophile?
In the original Broadway show, yes.
Seriously?
Yes.
That's just weird.
It's dark and it's adult and it's a twist.
You didn't need. I don't know. That topic after that's my boy. I just can't see that. No. But either way, I'm actually surprised Disney let them get away with that. To be honest, because
well, they didn't explicitly state it, but they did.
They did everything but.
They heavily implied it.
Because what happens is it has a Little Red Riding Hood, and I don't know who plays her, but she's pretty fun. She's actually pretty funny.
Yeah, she had spunk to her. I liked her.
Yeah, I wish I had more of her in it. But anyway, that comes back to not developing characters enough. But anyway, she's going along to Granny's house, and she meets a big bad wolf, who I've said before, I'm gonna say it again, just looks like a gambling jackrabbit. Played by Johnny Depp, who starts... And I didn't know about the pedophilia thing until, like, I started watching the scene, and he starts singing the song about how plump and delicious and how subtle she looks. I'm like, where is this going? And then he straight up walks in first and says, where are you going? So his jacket has like a candy hanging on his scene. It's like, oh my god, this is a rape. This is a character into a rape scene. What the fuck? And it keeps going, like, making me more and more uncomfortable. I'm like, this is Disney, right? Why? What? Why?
It's Disney's adaptation of a Broadway play that did that kind of thing and darker stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure they did do darker stuff. Either way, I'm like, I don't know where they're going with this.
Well, apparently you did know.
Well, I was hoping I was wrong. I was kind of looking over. It's like, am I the only one getting the creepy vibe here?
Nope, that was intentional.
I don't like this. This does not make me feel good.
Well, it made Red feel good briefly.
No. Sorry, that joke just really just...
Sorry.
I'm not good into pedophilia jokes. Okay.
She mentioned that
yeah, and that creeped me out too.
She found it a little exciting, so that's all that joke was in reference to.
Yeah, I get it. Still, that whole sequence just gave me the heebie-jeebies. It's like
fair enough.
As my voice in my brain is going, me no want get pedophilia scene out of here. Thankfully, Johnny Depp dies pretty quickly in this movie. I was actually pretty surprised.
And you don't see him die. They don't show for a story with so much violence. They don't show you much blood.
Well, yeah, again, it's Disney. I mean, apparently pedophilia references are okay, but blood, no. You can't have no blood here.
Well, there is one drop of blood after one of the stepsisters gets her toe cut off.
You can get away with one, apparently. That's like, as long as it's like, oh, it's just a blotch of ketchup. Oh, okay, she's not the real princess. Get her off. All right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. This movie just did not work for me, I guess, when it comes down to it. I guess a lot of people like it. It's like 70-something% on Rotten Tomato right now. But it's just, to me, I don't know. I felt like a lot of the aesthetics wasn't matching what the tone for the music was going for. I thought it was too gothic.
It was meant to get progressively darker as it went on.
Yeah, but at the same time, the music for it's kind of the same color scheme and the same tone through the entire movie, though. It doesn't ever get progressively darker. It just kind of stays dark through the entire thing.
Oh, that is a mistake. I mean, from what I was told, the Broadway in the Broadway show, the first half is supposed to be, you know, bright and colorful, and then and then the color scheme is and the story are supposed to get darker as it goes on.
I mean, especially since it's Disney, you think they could do that very well, but surprisingly not. It's very dark. It's very damp. A lot of the scenes aren't very nice to look at. A lot of the costume designs are surprisingly not really nice to look at either.
A lot of the costumes were very basic, considering the different stories that they had to work with. And since you did bring up costumes, I will say that I didn't like how similar the stepmother and stepsister's outfits were. They were practically identical.
Yeah, it was kind of hard. I had issues telling them apart.
Me too.
If the stepsisters went blind, I would not be able to tell them apart, because they look the same fucking age, too.
They did.
Which is, again, that's not massively distracting, but is a little distracting.
Yes, I even though I love fairy tales and musicals, I was a little distracted by that, because you have all these stories to work with. And yes, there are some parameters of those stories in terms of the types of costumes that are expected, but you could experiment. You could differentiate a little bit.
I think it's kind of what a lot of it comes down to, is I feel like you could have done so much more with this, and we're feeling, I mean, just the bare bones of what Disney's willing to put on in this movie.
That I'll agree with, and like I said, I enjoyed it, but yes, I do acknowledge this could have been...
This could have been much better than it was, especially
Yes.
with the cast you have, especially with the people you have on this thing. You could have done so much more with this.
Where else in a million years are you going to get a chance to work with Johnny Depp, Meryl Streep, Emily Blunt, Anna Kendrick,
Fantastic Chris Pratt.
yes, a fantastic Chris Pratt having a ball, hamming it up to the nth degree. Where else are all of these elements going to come together? So why not take full advantage?
It's like, just have more fun with it. A lot of the same movies, like, it feels like this movie's also taking itself way too fucking seriously. To the extent you can with this kind of material. Because, like, the best scene in the movie is the duet with the princes.
Yes!
And that is when clearly, like, the actors are having fun, the cinematographer's having fun, everyone's having such a fun time making this. Because what happens is there's one prince who finds Rapunzel, and the other prince, who's Prince Charming, finds Cinderella.
And they're brothers, apparently.
And they're brothers, because fucking why not?
Yeah.
And they're both looking for the prince at the same time, and they meet together at this river, and they start singing the song how much emotional pain they're in, but it's played for laughs, and both actors are just hamming up, not to the extent where it's like over the top. Well, it is over the top. Yes. But just enough where that does become, oh brother, it becomes like, okay, they're having fun with this.
And it's contagious. I couldn't help but bust up laughing.
I laughed, and I was pretty stone-faced most of the movie. Like, whenever Chris Pratt had any substantial scenes where he's allowed to do what he wanted, this was fun. This could have been more fun, especially Meryl Streep in particular. I thought hammed it up a little too much.
Fair enough.
And I like Meryl Streep. Like, she's an Oscar-worthy actress for a reason.
Yes.
But for the most part, I feel like either A, she was kind of phoning in, or B, she was just kind of being too spastic. I don't know.
I think that says more...
That could have been the script.
I think that probably says more about the director than it does about her.
That's true. Yeah, like, this could have been totally the director's fault. Let's blame the director now. Let's sing a song about who we blame. Especially towards the end, because I'm gonna give away the twist in the second act, and
Spoiler.
Toward the third act. Okay, so
Spoiler warning.
And by the way, Jack kind of got on my nerves too. The character of Jack. The actor was playing was fine, but again, it comes back to more pointless songs. Like, you could have cut this, you could have cut that, you could have done without this completely.
Really don't like little boy characters in musicals, do you?
I like them when they're written well. I just haven't. The past couple ones I've seen do not have well-written little boy characters. Fuck Gavroche. Fuck that little bastard.
There it is. That's what I was waiting for.
Yeah, I know you were egging me on, but I sense the trap, and I fucking don't know. Anyway, I got lost in Les Mis for a second there. Oh yeah. So anyway, when the Meryl Streep turns out, she gets really ugly. She was a witch that cast a curse on the main character's family, so that they couldn't have children ever. So, but turns out that she also had these magical beads that kept her young. But her the main character's dad, a long time ago, took them when he stole food from her garden.
For his wife's pregnancy, which apparently makes Rapunzel the main character's sister.
Which never comes back, by the way.
Yeah, they never.
They never did anything with that.
They never meet. Like he never met his sister.
Yeah, so it was pointless.
Yeah.
That was a pointless plot.
Unfortunately, yes.
I noticed this movie does that a lot.
Nice.
I should write that song.
You should.
I'll start working when I get home.
Okay.
Anyway, so yes, but turns out the dad kept the magic bean, but it was in his old
jacket.
His old jacket, which the son finds. Son being the main character.
The baker.
But it turns out in order to reverse the curse, Meryl Streep tells him to get these 4 objects, which includes a milk white cow, the Red Riding Hood's cape, Cinderella's shoe, and hair of corn, which they kind of cheat on towards the end.
Hair the color of corn.
Hair the color of corn, which was like a total just kind of like bullshit, calling bullshit towards the end. Anyway, long story short, they got all the ingredients, they reversed the magical curse, blah, 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 blah. All the other stories have happened. The full Cinderella stories happened. The full Jack and the Beanstalk story has happened. All that stuff has fully happened.
And it looks like there's a happy ending for all.
Look for a happy ending for all, but there's not, because there was one bean left that accidentally got planted, and then another beanstalk grew, and apparently the giant's
wife,
widow, I guess, in this case, comes down and she wants revenge. And up to that point, it's like, okay, we hear Jack talk about the giants. Why didn't we get to see any of that? And then they showed the giants, like, oh, that's why, because it looks stupid. But
yeah, I was mildly curious who was playing the female giant, because
yeah, she looked familiar.
Yeah.
I think I wanted to say like she was maybe like Hagrid's girlfriend in the Harry Potter movies, but maybe that's kind of a guess. I know I've seen her somewhere. I'd have to IMDb it.
Fair enough.
But that's kind of the whole thing is, this is another thing that kind of made me mad, was the fact that they're making up big deals like, oh, the giant's gonna kill us all if we don't get Jack, then she's gonna kill us all, she's gonna kill us all, she's gonna kill us all. What gets her in the end? 3 fucking tiny rocks is enough to kill her.
Well, David was able to take down Goliath with
wasn't
one.
20 stories tall. That's like taking Godzilla out with a slingshot. Because, that's literally how it ends, is they make this big, huge thing. It's like, okay, here's the plan. We're going to climb a tree, and we're going to chuck rocks at her. That's the big climax.
Oh, and the birds attacked her, too, because Cinderella can talk to birds.
Because, why not? And, and at this point, spoiler alert, the main character's wife
The baker's wife.
just dies. Out of nowhere. She just dies.
After being seduced by
Prince Charming, which is another funny scene.
Yes.
Again, because of Chris Pratt, he's having a fun time with this.
Because he was raised to be charming, not sincere.
Yes, so after a weird seduction scene, and then another weird song from the wife saying, oh, I probably shouldn't cheat on my husband, she just falls off a cliff and dies. That's it. She's gone from the movie until she appears up, Star Wars ghost style at the end of the movie.
To comfort their infant son.
Because, sure. And so she's dead, and then there's the kind of song they're all trying to figure out who to blame for all the catastrophe, and then the witch has this big song, and she just dies.
Yeah, she basically throws the remaining magic beans she has in the ground and implodes, and a tar pit forms in her wake or disappearance.
Because sure.
Yeah.
Reasons!
Magic!
Logic! Sure! That's kind of what a lot of it comes down to. It's like, I don't know what is happening. I don't know why.
Fairy tale logic.
I don't really care. Again, the last one kind of the big issue here. I don't know, maybe I'm being too harsh. I probably am, but...
I think you are a little bit, because I think it sounds to me like you have expectations for.
Well, because A, it's Disney, and B,
this.
you can tell a fairy tale story with still good characters. That's not hard to ask. I'm not asking much. I'm just asking characters I can get behind and not feel bored through half of your movie.
I know, and I'm not entirely disagreeing. I think I came in with this with different expectations of just enjoying some fairy tale musical fluff.
Okay, maybe you're going with that mindset. You will like this movie fine. For me, I don't know. It didn't work. Because, like, I don't know, it didn't do anything for me. Like, the only parts I liked were not there nearly enough. I got really, really bored. I just, like, can we please wrap this up? Because this movie's 2 fucking hours long. It did not need to be that long. Especially with the content that is here. And
Fair enough.
I could have done the pedophilia thing, but that's in the original story. There's only so much I could do about that. So, it's kind of like a Les Mis. I can hate some of the shit that's in that movie, too, but that's also a flaw of the original story, so there's only so much I can blame. Yeah, it just did not work for me. I don't really have much to say beyond. I think I've kind of made my point.
Yeah, you have, and they're valid points. So I think what it ultimately comes down to is that if you go in with the expectation of enjoying entertainment, musical fairy tale fluff for 2 hours, then you'll like it well enough. Could it have been better? Yes, absolutely. But if you don't go in expecting more than what I said, then you'll enjoy it well enough.
Yeah, fair enough. Pointless. This song is really freaking pointless.
Does it leave you in agony?
Actually, it's more if I just... Agony! No.
At least that scene
This song doesn't serve the plot. I'm trying to think about how else I can write that. I'm curious if I can pull that off now. Challenge accepted. Now I just need to find a composer.
Ashley?
We tried that angle, but she and her composer had fallen out.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Sad face.
Yeah. So that was my first option, but then that fell through, and then I don't have anyone else after that.
Got it.
I'm still searching far and wide. But anyway. So yeah, I guess trailers.
Trailers, which we got at least a handful of.
Me. Come out phone. No Facebook, you can wait. There you go. Oh boy. Okay. We got a lot of movies here I do not want to see. First we got Pitch Perfect 2.
I saw the first one because I got set up with a media pass to see it for free, and again, I like musicals and I liked the a cappella stuff in it, but I acknowledged that the plot was very cheesy, and I don't know if you've seen the first Pitch Perfect, but
yeah, 'cause, unless I was doing this, I would go out of my way to go see Pitch Perfect. That came out before we started doing this.
Yes.
So I did not see it.
Yeah. There was a character in the first Pitch Perfect who threw up a lot, and I could have done without those scenes because that was gross.
Oh yeah, because pedophilia wolf is perfectly okay, but puking scenes.
I wasn't saying that it was okay. I was saying it's a part of the source material. I'm not endorsing pedophilia or abuse of any kind.
No. Unless you start writing the scripts from That's My Boy Too, you're fine. Don't worry.
I am not a bad person. I'm not endorsing abuse, despite what he says.
I know you're not. Don't worry. I'm just giving you shit. Anyway, what you were saying?
So the trailer for Pitch Perfect 2 looks equally cheesy. I imagine it will have good songs and good a cappella stuff. I just hope that it doesn't have throwing up scenes again.
I just got annoyed by the fat jokes.
That was in the first Pitch.
I'm sure there was. I'm sure it was, because that's all that actress has done is she just plays the awkward one who doesn't realize she's fat, but still gets it. But her entire existence is that she's supposed to be kind of arrogant, but you go, ha, because she's not really the sexy one because she's fat.
Yeah.
So it's kind of that I hate that style of humor. It just feels very mean spirited.
I agree.
It's like, haha, she fell down the stairs because she's fat. You get it? She's fucking fat. She'll laugh at her.
Well, you noticed I didn't laugh at that.
I know. I'm not saying you did. I'm
Yeah.
just speaking generally. That's the movie's telling you to do. I noticed I'm really giving you like a hard, cold stare there. That wasn't intentional. That was more my rage at you people. You people who laugh at these fucking fat jokes. You'd be ashamed. Now let me go watch Austin Powers 2 and laugh at Fat Bastard. Anyway, point out hypocrisy. Okay, speaking of fat, Mall Cop 2. No, Paul Bart Mall Cop 2, because this movie really demanded the story go on.
Yeah, I had thankfully almost forgotten about that first movie, and
Not anymore. Kevin James is back. As I dive more in my reviewer voice, apparently. Which I hate that I do. And I didn't notice it until you and Cody pointed it out to me. And I was like, fuck! I do have a reviewer voice.
yes, you do.
It's like I had another friend who tells me I sound like a newscaster whenever I talk.
Occasionally.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, boy. Okay.
You also get very loud and
Well, that part I know.
and-
That part
and-
I knew.
and high pitch when you get either very excited or angry about something.
I love and hate in equal measure. You know, with equal passion.
Yes, you do.
Speaking of passion, a nice little segue there.
Thank you.
We got Selma, which is the Martin Luther King movie.
Okay, I thought that was an MLK story, but they didn't overtly.
True. The
So-
guy looks just like Martin Luther King, though. So.
It's a pretty strong resemblance, yes.
Ooh.
Are you out of battery?
Oh no! I was looking at the car behind me. I didn't realize he was backing up, so it looked like he had a siren on top of his car. I was like, "Uh-oh, Popo, come and shut us down." They're after the Babadook copyright.
Well,
Entertainment One's come to claim me.
well, the cops around here can get pretty bored.
Yeah, well, you know about it more than I would.
Yeah.
Selma looks good. I mean, it comes out in January, which is a bit concerning. Or it gets wide release in January, I'd say. It technically already came out on Christmas, but
I love history, so I'd be very curious to see it.
yeah. Probably see if I can talk Ron into doing it too. That seems like something to be up his alley.
Yes, very much so.
So I'm looking forward to that one. That should be good. And then again, nice little segue. Speaking of movies, I am not looking forward to Jupiter Ascending.
I never heard of this.
You never heard of this?
No.
Oh, that's how I know I haven't been to a movie recently, because I've gotten this trailer so many fucking times now.
I'll
It seems to play a lot at Century Theaters, I've noticed.
okay. Like I was telling you, this was my first movie of the year. I think the last movie I saw was the last review we did. So.
Well, today, to be fair, it's only January 2nd.
Yes.
So, first one of the year doesn't really say much. But,
Fair enough.
uh,
Happy New Year, by the way.
yes, Happy New Year. This will be released well into the new year, because I'm still waiting for the stupid Babadook shit to work itself out, but that's a whole nother rant for another day.
Indeed.
And I don't want to get sued, so I'm going to be very nice for the time being. So I just can't get over how stupid this looks. I can't.
It looks like another one of those young adult action flick romance things.
Yeah, but it just looks... I don't know what it is. It's fucking Stephen Hawking doing the whisper villain talk that really really gets on my nerves. You know, one of the ones where they feel like they need to be villainous, so they say everything in a whisper.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it makes everything... No, it wasn't even like a whisper. It was like a pompous whisper.
Yes.
So I was like, I am royalty. And it looks just like this.
You actually did that better than the actor did.
Agony. Anyway, that's basically what it is. Fuck, it is. Damn it, I do get high pitched.
I told you.
God fucking damn it. I'm learning way too much about myself lately.
Well, we know you reasonably well.
Fair enough. When Cody eventually get back to San Jose, yeah, we'll have to compare notes. But yeah. Anyway.
Well, maybe she can be dragged down here, because...
Oh, she moved back home for a little bit. She'll be back down. She says she's gonna come back down as soon as she can afford it. But like you, she had to move back home for a little while. So
Yeah, I'm back with my mom because I'm broke.
sorry, I didn't mean to reveal that to the world. But
Yeah, well, I looked at my, I figured the average view count I get is about 40, so not not many people watch the reviews that
Sometimes maybe you'll get sympathy.
I do with you.
Does maybe get sympathy. Send your sympathy cards. Y'all put in $1.
Monetize YouTube videos so that he can start paying us at some point.
They're monetized. It's more just watch the shit out of our videos.
Yes, please.
Because you know what the most popular video we had last year?
Kirk Cameron?
Kirk Cameron has almost 600 views, and I don't understand why. It's like, really? This is the one you want to know about? Okay, sure.
Well, it's not often talked about, and there are a lot of Christians out there.
I guess. I don't know. Either way, then we got another trailer for Tomorrowland. I'm actually really curious about this one.
They just basically showed some...
Well, it's a teaser.
Yeah, it's a teaser. It wasn't a full trailer, so I...
But it has George Clooney. Look, I like the aesthetics. So.
It kind of left me curious to find out more about the plot. It basically showed the premise.
Yeah, and I was like, I like the people who are behind it. So I was like, and like people who are in it. So it's one of those things. I think it has a chance. It has a chance.
It has potential.
And then, last but not least, we got Cinderella.
So, as I mentioned earlier, the original 1950 Disney animated version of Cinderella is my favorite, or at least one of my top 5 favorite animated Disney films. And I understand that they, as a company, are taking advantage of the new technologies to revamp their previous stories into live action, which, yeah, it is fun to see this story in live action, but I've seen it in live action in Ever After, which I also liked. I've seen it in live action in Ella and Enchanted, which was entertaining. I've seen it in live action, the Rodgers and Hammerstein version with Brandy back in the 90s. So I've seen live action Cinderella too.
So basically, again, there's no reason for this movie to exist.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of that's very much how I feel about the same way too. It's like we've seen the story, we know the story. The colors just really seem off when you have the grimy style the movie's clearly going for.
That and
I don't know how Helen Bonham Carter is going to do as the fairy godmother. It just seems like an odd choice to me.
I can see her more as the stepmother. Sorry.
Yeah, I can definitely see her as a stepmother, but that's not so much as the fairy godmother.
Same here, and this is a minor nitpick, but you can go to any Disney store at any big mall and see the basic design of the Disney Cinderella ball gown. Yeah, they didn't need to change it. I don't like the blue dress with the feathery sleeve off the shoulder thing. It's not as good as the other design, and that's a small nitpick on my part.
Yeah, you know what they should have done is just did what they did with Maleficent and just called this movie Stepmother. And make it look how the stepmother is the untold victim in this whole story. I just tried to raise one woman and teach her important life values she needed to learn one day for herself, but she ran away with the first harpy with money. Cinderella, the first gold digger.
There's actually a video I found on YouTube. I think it's called Disney Villains, the musical, where they base.
Oh, is that like the cover of that pop song?
I think it's an original song.
Oh.
Where these actresses dress up as.
Oh yeah. I think I've seen it. Yeah.
Where the happily ever after isn't happy after all.
Yeah, I think I've seen that.
Yeah, that's what I was reminded of when you were making that comparison.
Fair enough. I think we've pretty much covered all our bases. So
Yes.
Into the Woods. I didn't like it, but if you have lower expectations, you might like it fine. I don't know.
Yeah, he didn't like it because he had high expectations. I liked it because I love fairy tales and musicals, and I had more realistic expectations and found it entertaining.
So take that as you will, guys. We'll be back later with something. I don't even
Annie?
know. I guess probably Annie. I don't know at this point. There's so much fucking shit out right now. So something. I'll roll a pair of dice and or throw a dartboard at a. I don't know. Not dartboard. Just chart dart. Anyway, I'm not making any sense right now. I'm gonna stop now. I'm tired. I'm gonna go home. Bye.